Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Buff Breakdown. So with the new JP event release a couple of days ago, we already have a buff on day 3. Yes indeed, and wow, they are I guess continuing on with Fey Knight buffs because now we have a Britomart buff. And not just any buff, it's an MP buff too, much like with Tristan that they did not long ago. So yeah, that's pretty spicy. And also very relevant for NA players as well, since her first ever banner is currently up. So maybe this will make people reconsider, we'll see. But let's first of all see what is different. So before the buff, she has a 6-hit AoE quick MP. She gets 1 turn of Invul Pierce before damage. She gets 50% power mod against riding trait enemies for 1 turn. And then she does her big damage that is super effective against rider class enemies, scaling from base 150 to all the way to 200% on max overcharge. So MP was alright. It actually already hit fairly hard. The rider thing, it can kind of work because, you know, obviously she is neutral herself to the class, but that's a lot of super effective as is, especially if you get some overcharge levels too, so it can definitely make up for not having offensive class advantage. And then of course, basically, if not all, then most rider class enemies and servants should have the riding trait. So it's like a nice double whammy to get that power mod on top as well. Now obviously her best case scenario is against archers, and many archers like servants do have the riding trait too, so this could actually be applied there as well, which made her pretty good too. So that was the MP before the buff. It was alright, I never really hated it. It's a bit funny with the niche being neutral class, but you know, it's definitely a thing. So let's see what they changed. So now we have 2 new lines. So first of all, she still gets the 1 turn of Invul Pierce before damage, 50% riding trait power mod for 1 turn before damage, but now also before damage, she inflicts a 3 turn quick resistance down on all enemies, and the same with Buster resistance down as well. And both of these are now new scaling overcharge effects too, starting from 10% all the way to minus 30% resistance. This is very nice. They didn't change the rider class super effective. That's still the same. So they didn't really change anything that was pre-existing, okay? They just did the standard damage upgrade for the MP, of course, and then added these 2 new lines. But I really like this. 1, yes, it will make her farming better because this quick res down before damage will both increase the damage of the MP and give her a bit more refund as well. So not sure if it's going to change any of her comps. I'm guessing not. The refund is probably not that big of a deal, but the damage increase from both the standard one on the MP and this quick res down will certainly be a very nice boost. Now, if anything, I'm more excited about this for bosses, of course, because these are 3-turn debuffs, meaning they are basically a form of ramp up for the MP. Now, obviously, with farming, it's not the biggest deal ever because, you know, they're debuffs and not buffs, so the ramp up doesn't really work that way, sadly. But especially because it is a debuff, I like it more for bosses. And then also the Buster resistance down because her MP is quick, so for farming this is not the biggest deal ever, but she does have 2 Buster cards in her normal deck, of course. She has the standard Lancer deck of double Buster, double quick, so that is very nice. And of course she also had a skill as well that was both a Buster and a quick up for 3 turns as well. Just like a nice double whammy there. Yeah, I really like this buff. It is simple, but it's good. Now the MP actually looks way better. I never really had big issues, like I said, with the MP, even if it was a bit weird with the anti-rider class super effective. But with this now, it's way more generic too. In a good way, like being able to use it way better for more damage and gains and everything basically. So wow, this is another big one actually. Yeah, this is some big stuff. So on the Lancer tier list this year, we had her actually on a pretty high A+ as is. So with this, I think she should definitely be S tier minimum, because we kind of had an S tier here because we're weird like that. So I'll leave her in S tier for now, because I'm not sure exactly how the numbers are going to look like yet, because I haven't done any testing, but quite possibly she could be top tier now. So wow, these Fairy Knight buffs really are big. I mean, that's what happens when you do good MP buffs, I suppose. So, yay for Britomart. So maybe some NA players will now consider summoning her in anticipation for this buff. Who knows? Let me know if you do. So there you go. There's another Fey Knight buff wrapped up. Very good stuff. So with that, if you enjoyed this buff breakdown, do me a solid and click the thumbs up button on this video. It really helps out. Also, of course, do consider subscribing to my channel to not miss out on these instant updates coming your way whenever we have new buffs and anything else that is juicy and noteworthy. Shout out to my patrons on the screen right now and Suit for being a big YouTube member tier, and otherwise, hope to see you in the next video. Have a good weekend ahead, and a bye bye.